You can easily make your child a multimillionaire, and here's how. Major brokerages like Fidelity and Charles Schwab make it super easy to sign up for a custodial account. You gotta get your kid one of these as soon as they're born.
I'm on my way.
It's a brokerage account that's an investing account for kids, and they can invest in stocks, bonds, ETFs, and more. Don't you love it?
Yeah, for sure.
It's a great way to save on your child's behalf and give them the gift of money for their future. The money in the account belongs to the kid, and you'd be amazed about what this ownership can do to boost their confidence and their commitment to saving for their future. It's helped Gio here understand the concept of saving money, how it grows, and what you can do with it moving forward. The custodial account is considered the minor's asset, and it can be funded with a parent or guardian's after-tax money. I can even transfer shares of stock to my kid. And there are some cool tax benefits for me, which we'll talk about more in this video. Hi, I'm Seth, and this is Gio from Everything Money.
What's up?
Our channel is dedicated to simplifying investing and to teach you how to patiently invest with low downside risk. So I did this when Gio was a baby, but a custodial account can be opened in minutes and funded almost instantly through a bank account. Withdrawals can be made at any time by the custodian, but these must be used for the benefit of the child. And here's the crazy part. Anyone can contribute to this thing.
I always forget that part.
Parents, grandparents, friends, and other family members can contribute to this with no limit. If the gift exceeds 16 grand, there could be some tax issues. Unlike a 401k, these contributions are not tax deductible or tax deferred. A portion of the custodial account's earnings or gains, up to $1,100, may be exempt from federal income tax.
This account can be transferred into a youth account.
Yeah, so when Gio hits 13, he'll get a youth account and he can carry that account until he's 17. And as your child gets older and maybe gets a little summer job, he can actually open up a Roth IRA for kids and start saving that money tax-free as well to coincide with a custodial account. And remember, a custodial account, a Roth IRA for kids, and a trust are all totally different and have different advantages. And I was confused by this at first, but this is totally different than a 529 plan. A 529 plan is a tax advantaged account that's specifically set up for education purposes, whether it's a private high school or college. And the funds in a 529 can only be used for qualified education expenses, but it can be used for schools all over the nation. We'll have other videos about these accounts. But this kind of stinks. If you have a 529 or a custodial account, this will go against you if you're trying to get financial aid.
Come on!
So it'll be factored into that financial aid eligibility. With this custodial account, brokerages like Fidelity offer $0 trades, 0 fees, and no minimum balances. Personally, I have a custodial account set up for Gio, and he's very active in it. We also have a 529, but I absolutely love the custodial because we control the funds and we can make investing decisions. And when it comes time for G to go to college, I kind of hope that he doesn't use his custodial account for college. I'd rather him get a low interest loan so he can keep contributing and growing this account at a higher rate of return. So let's take a look at what saving for a kid can look like using our Everything Money retirement calculator. Say, for example, an adult starts saving at 25 years old and they want to retire at 65 years old. Say they only save $2,000 a year every year of their life. So they invest 80 grand over those 40 years. At 65 years old, you could have just under $950,000. But let's say that 25-year-old started a decade early at 15 years old. Oh my gosh. Instead of $950,000, you'd have $2.4 million. And let's go to a complete extreme. Say you start saving for your child at the age of 5 with those same numbers, $2,000 a year. At 65, they'll have $6.3 million. And that's assuming they never put more than 2,000 bucks in. Even when they're 40 years old and making a ton of money. You are single-handedly making your child a multimillionaire by putting this money away for them. And let's go bonkers. Maybe they add $3,000 a year instead of 2. This will get them $9.2 million. It's completely absurd. This is the power of compounding interest in time. Growing up, I was completely oblivious to money. My folks didn't have a bunch of it, but they spoiled me and I took advantage of that. I went out with my friends, I went to movies, I bought CDs and DVDs. I took my future wife, Beth, bowling in the late 90s and went to every concert I could. And while my dad was working long, hot days in a dirty dump truck, he'd pull into the driveway at 6:30, 7 o'clock at night, just completely exhausted. They wanted to give me and their grandkids a great life, and they did. It's only now, like 25 years later, that I can fully grasp what they did for us and what I'm trying to do for my G-Bird. But the great news is I can share their mindset of working hard and what I've learned about saving money with my kids, and you can too.
I was drawn to saving at a really young age.
I got you an account and we invested together. We learned together. Once I instilled the concept of saving money, how it works and how it can grow, he became completely addicted to taking money from birthdays and Christmas and instantly buying stocks with it. Gio is an avid fan and student of the stock market, and we talk about it on a daily basis. He can visually see his account balance go up or down sometimes, but he knows we're not blowing it on stupid stuff.
I spent my life savings turning my van into a dog.
And guess what? This didn't take long at all.
Right off the bat, I just love saving and investing money.
He actually has more saved than many 30 or 40-year-olds, sadly.
I love watching my dad's videos and learning about companies.
In fact, at Christmas, if he opens a card with money in it, he just hands it to me and we decide what stocks we're gonna buy. Gio, does anyone have any clue at your school about saving?
No, not really. Like, they had a stock club and so I was in 5th grade at the time, and I was hearing about the stock club, and they were like, we did this and that, and we had so much returns. I'm like, so how much did you guys actually make? And they're like, well, we didn't actually invest in the company.
Uh-oh.
I'm like,
Well,
then,
at least they're practicing.
yeah, I guess.
Okay.
I guess that counts.
Yeah, so it's so obvious this kid's gonna be a multimillionaire if he stays at it, because he already has a 2-decade head start on most people. And let me stress, this is of course not financial advice, but I'm certainly not gonna take my kids' money and YOLO it into some crazy investment. So you gotta have a process down if you wanna pick individual stocks. If you simply look at the numbers from the savings calculator, you don't actually need to be a zillionaire through Bitcoin or some crazy company. You can put the kids' money in the safest investment possible with such little downside risk, they're gonna be zillionaires. If you wanna keep learning about savings accounts for kids, check out this video about a Roth IRA for kids.